I'm telling Jesus, are you here? I'm telling Jesus, are you here?
I ain't did nothing. Jesus already know what I did, so ain't nothing to tell him.
Yes. No.
So we're talking about hygiene.
Oh, you already recording?
Kinda.
I don't think you're in this episode. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. You're talking about hygiene, right?
We're talking about hygiene.
So, I mean, what's the question?
This generation today, how do you feel they've come up in their hygiene manner?
Well, you know, being an old man like myself, joking, I don't know if we take the same amount of pride, or we put the same amount of pride in our appearance as much as we should. We have become such of a come as you are type of people that we have forgotten the importance of actually being presentable. Like, for instance, I'll see a young man who will decide to go to a job interview and he'll have on, you know, a pair of, you know, sagging jeans, a white t-shirt, and some tennis shoes. And he's not really taking that type of care that he should, and making sure that the way that he appears and the way that he is groomed is really kept, and really given the type of attention that it should be given. And with the grooming, I mean, sometimes we just really let ourselves go. I think one of the key things with a man, to not have to worry about trying to put, you know, money into designer clothes and stuff like that, is to just make sure that he at least keeps his haircut neat. Even if it means he can't get a haircut, I mean, just line it up. For black men and even for white men, I mean, just lining that thing up, keeping it neat, keeping it presentable, making sure that, you know, you cleaning out underneath the nails, and you know, cutting them down, leveling them out, filing them out, whatever you have to do, just to make sure that you're looking presentable. Especially when you're going somewhere, you're meeting a client, or you're meeting a business partner. It's just making sure that you're keeping that right with your appearance. And shaving. When you wake up in the morning, shave. Take time to do that. And I know for me, I didn't have anybody to sit me down and teach me about shaving. So for me, it was so important. I had to go through a lot of trial and error. And I remember one time I got like this 6-bladed razor, and I took it around my face. It was like, shh. And I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I didn't put any shaving cream on because I didn't know. But now, you know, I recognize the appearance of doing a pre-shave to make sure that, you know, it's oily, and it's oily enough where when I put the shaving cream on, it's going to glide along the skin, and I'm usually using 1 or 2 blades gliding along the skin to make sure that it cuts where it's supposed to. I'm not going over it, cutting up and down, and that helps me to avoid irritation. And then afterwards, I'm putting a cold rag on my face to close up my pores, and then I'm putting a nice shaving, face cream, yeah, an aftershave cream after it, just to keep my face moisturized and keep it lotion. But I mean, that should be an every morning thing. When we're waking up, just making sure that we keep ourselves groomed. You know, taking care of those nose hairs that have started growing out of the nose. It's a problem when they coming out. It's like they coming out. To take care of them so they can stay in. Or the hairs that are starting coming out of the ears. Yeah, I've seen some hair out of the ears before. It's kind of embarrassing.
I don't have that problem.
Well, let's hope that you don't, Aaron. Let's hope that you don't have that problem. And if you did,
he'd be taken care of quickly.
No.
Quickly.
Brother, yeah, I will make sure as your friend, I'll let you know, bro, that you got hair coming out your ears.
I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, bro, I got you.
Recently, I was a bumblebee. Yeah.
I was reading for my drink.
Yeah. As you bring that up about how kids are dressing or just young adults, period, I can't help but think about the fact that how they're being raised, where it's coming from. I think it results mostly in just like fathers not being in the home.
Oh yeah.
Or just fathers not knowing themselves, you know, how to dress respectively and how to keep themselves groomed and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, for me, I love my dad, but I can't credit him for a lot of the stuff that I've learned about, you know, being well groomed or, you know, wanting to dress nice, because he never really sat down to really teach me that stuff. Like, as a father, I think it's important for me now with my son to go to him and say, you know, he gets ready to go buy his first suit. Well, I want to teach him, hey, it doesn't have to be the most expensive suit off the rack. You can wear a very inexpensive suit, but you just want to make sure that it's tailored right. You want to make sure you take it and get the size taken in, so it gives you that nice slim fit look. Or if you want that European look, if you want more of a classic fit look, then you can keep it kind of wide along the sides and kind of wide along the hips. And I mean, being able to sit down and say, you know, if your suit is bunching up in the back, you may want to get about a ½ inch taken off around the back of around the shoulders there, around the back of the neck. It's just little stuff like that I had to learn along the way. Like when I'm wearing a suit, don't put on white socks. You know, put on some black socks and you know, just going by the suit. I think it was my first suit I bought was a black suit. And then I bought a navy blue suit, then I bought a gray suit. And each one of them, they kind of, I mean, it was just solid gray, solid navy blue, solid black. But those suits, they were plain, and then my ties were red, solid red, blue, solid blue, and, you know, they were all solid. And I just bought a bunch of white shirts. And although it was like, it may be plain, but for me, I wasn't trying to keep up with all the guys who could, like in the GQs, who could wear all those colors and shades and stripes and handkerchiefs. I just wanted to keep it classic, keep it classy, and just keep it clean and keep it simple. And just make sure I'm well groomed in doing it. But I agree with you. It's a lot of the father just not being there to sit down and say, son, this is what you should do. You should go in there and brush your teeth. You know, scrape your tongue, floss. Like, you know, just little stuff that mom and them should have sat down and said, make sure you brush your teeth every morning, every night. Really brush it after you get finished eating a meal. Take some time out to look nice.
So, how do you feel about first impressions?
I mean, I know there's one side that says first impressions don't really mean anything, and then there's one side, which I think is a majority, that says first impressions are important. In my honest opinion, I think an impression, no matter if it's first, second, third, or fourth, has some level of importance. So, like for instance, if I'm going to meet a young lady. Like the first time I went and I met my wife, I didn't really take too much care into my appearance at that point in time. I wanted my wife to get to know me for who I was and what I had on at the time. Although the person that was around me did not necessarily agree with it, I didn't think it was the best choice. That was my taste. That was what I liked, and that's what I felt comfortable in, and that's what I went to go meet her in. If I'm going to a business meeting, or I'm going to a job interview, or I'm going to go meet one of my partners in business, it's important for me to want to look my best. It's important for me to want to give off that type of impression, because to me, it says that you actually have some type of worth or value about yourself. So I would say no matter what impression it is, first, second, third, or fourth, I think that it's important. Just because I've already met my business partners does not mean that, because I've already met them one time, does not mean that I'm going to cheapen or disvalue my appearance just because I've already met them one time. I think it's always important. Always.
Rolling. Okay, so as far as like the church, I know some people have the come as you go, come as you are. Then there are some people who have a real strict standard on the way people come in dressed and will like ask them to adjust certain things or take earrings out and stuff. How do you feel about, people coming into the church and how they should, dress per se?
I mean, as a pastor, even when I get up and preach, there are some Sundays I wear a suit, some Sundays I wear blue jeans, some Sundays I wear khakis. So, I mean, it all depends on what I wear at different times. And I do that one reason is because I do want to appeal to a particular base of people. Some people don't own suits. They don't really have that. That may be a little bit above their mind to really perceive. And then sometimes, the jeans may be all that I may need, and maybe throw on a blazer that goes with it. I agree in many ways with the come as you are type of mentality. My only issue with that is that when you take come as you are as being sloppy, that is not honorable, in my opinion, to the Lord. I have gone to churches where I've seen people walk in with shorts, sandals, t-shirt, and it was like they just took it out the dryer and just put it on real quick, like, hey, I'm going to church. But then you turn around and they're going to work the next day and they have on a full business suit. It's like the honor that I choose to give to my work should not be the same or higher than the honor that I want to give to God when I get ready to assemble around other believers. I want to make sure that in my presentation, I'm coming with my best. I'm not just saying I want to come to worship Him, but I want to come to make a presentation of who I am. That doesn't mean I got to go out and buy a new suit. It doesn't mean I have to go out and buy the fresh pair of jeans. But if I have a pair of jeans now, at least I'm going to iron them. I'm going to do my best to look my best. One thing I love about being in Ethiopia is that when I got ready to preach, I noticed people who were coming in who didn't have much, but who took some type of pride and honor in their presentation, that even with the little that they had, they came presentable. And that says a lot about some of the people I met there who didn't have much. And then for us who do and have the clothing to be able to go and to look somewhat presentable, it says a lot about us. It says a lot about the way that we look and we think about ourselves, and what we look and we think about God. That'd be my answer.